Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to do a full face of Guerlain makeup. I have some new releases, I have some older ones. We're just going to sit here and play with makeup. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this new product, part of the Mad Eyes collection. This is one of the contrast shadow duo sticks. Now when I first saw this, I thought that one side would be eyeshadow, one side would be eyeliner, but both sides are eyeshadow. And I have the stick with the icy gray and night gray. So this is basically a cool toned classic smoky eye look. So this looks like a regular eyeshadow stick format. It's dual ended, so you get a dark and light color. I believe there are 4 shades to choose from. I went with this one here just to be different. I have a lot of warm tone colors and I thought this would be fun to play with. So the first thing to mention is that these are described as cream shadow sticks and they are 100% cream. It's incredible how creamy these are. It almost feels like this could be in a pot or something in a single, because when you apply the slightest amount of pressure, it's really creamy. It glides on really well, which is nice because when it comes to your eyes, you don't want to rub and tug all the skin. It really glides very easily. So I'm going to go ahead into night gray. This is the dark matte side here. From what I understand, every stick has one matte side and one shimmer. So as you can see, when you apply it, it just is extremely opaque and very creamy. But when you blend it out, it blends out very quickly. So you could easily buff this out into a light gray if you wanted to. I'm actually going to go ahead and just swipe into my brush here just to build it up a little bit in the socket. And I tried this out because I have such a hard time with shadow sticks. So many of them crease, but this one here does not. Like, this stays in place. I'm not sure if this is waterproof or not, but it definitely doesn't crease. It just stays in place. So that's just the night gray color, the matte color blended out. Let's do the other side here. What I find really interesting with this is that this matte color is super opaque and super intense, but when you apply it to the eyelid, if you blend it out with a finger or a brush right away, you almost erase the color. It's a little bit tricky to blend it out. Like, I find that you have to find the right technique. Like, you have to go in quite light with your brush to diffuse the color. Otherwise, you could end up just erasing the shadow. Now I'm going to go into the icy gray side, which is just the most beautiful shimmer color here. And I'm going to place this on the inner corner. And just lightly blend it out. Okay, let's go ahead and do the face makeup and finish up the eyes afterwards. I want to go into the Gold Radiance Primer here. I did a full review of this a few weeks ago, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this for my primer. Now I'm going to go into a bit of foundation. This is the Terracotta foundation stick in the shade Light. I like this foundation. It's just so perfumed. Like, a lot of Guerlain makeup is very fragranced, but this one here is like really intense. And now for the concealer, I actually don't have anything from Guerlain, so I'm going to go into my Clé de Peau concealer in the shade Almond. And then to set my face, I have here the Brazilian Fizz Meteorite Pearls. So this is part of their summer collection here. There were a few items in the summer collection this year, but honestly, the pearls were the most intriguing to me. There was a bronzer and also a blush, but apparently the bronzer had like a overlay spray that wasn't that interesting, so I just went with the pearls here because they were the most intriguing to me. This smells so lovely and light and fresh, and I love this packaging here. I love the pearls themselves. Believe it or not, this is my first time buying a Meteorite Pearl compact, or a set I should say. These are the actual loose pearls. I don't think they had a compact with this collection here, but I know that the compact does exist in other variations. This is definitely an item that's been on my want list in the makeup category for a long time. So, from what I understand, you use this all over your face to set and illuminate your skin tone. So I'm going to go in here. Wow, there's a lot of powder flying around. So even though these are very fragranced pearls, I only noticed that scent when I was sweeping it close to my nose. Like, I don't notice it. I honestly feel like the fragrance is much lighter in the Meteorite Pearls than it is in the foundation stick. And I feel like I definitely see a lot of luminosity still, like especially around like the center of my face. My skin still looks quite luminous and dewy. I really like these. Okay, let's go on to some bronzer. So I have the Terracotta Face Palette from last summer. I'm gonna go ahead and use both of these bronzing shades here. So for the blush, I don't have a Guerlain blush. I know there's technically one in that palette I showed you earlier, but I don't like that blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and use one from Chanel instead. This blush is number 72, Rose Initial. Now for the highlighter, I'm going to go into my Terracotta Nude Stick. This came out also in the summer collection last year. I know that there was a highlighting palette that came out this summer, but I don't know why. I just wasn't really drawn to it. I know a lot of people love it, and I'm sure it's really a good palette, but something about the shape, and I don't know, I wasn't drawn to it. I much prefer this highlighter stick here. So I'm gonna go in with a brush right here and then apply. Okay, so to finish up the eye look, I'm gonna go into my Mad Eyes mascara. So one thing I didn't realize is that this is waterproof. So I have the shade Black, and I didn't realize that this was water resistant, but apparently it is. And something I have to point out is that the shape of this mascara looks significantly smaller than other mascaras, like the Chanel one here, but it actually has more product in here. So the Mad Eyes mascara has 0.28 fluid ounces of product, and the Chanel ones, the Révolution and the Classic Volume, both have 0.21. So even though this looks shorter, you actually get more product in the Guerlain one. First thing, the wand is huge. It's a big, fat, fluffy mascara wand, and you get a lot of product on here. Like, you definitely have to wipe off the excess. So there's one last step I want to do for my eyes. So going back into the matte black color from the shadow stick, I'm going to dip into a pencil brush here very lightly, and I'm going to go ahead and trace this on the bottom lashes here. And now to finish up the lips, shockingly enough, I also do not own a Guerlain lipstick yet. I know the cases look stunning, but I haven't taken the plunge yet. So I'm gonna go into a Chanel lipstick. This is the Rouge Coco Flash number 82, Live or Live. And to finish off the entire look, I have the Guerlain Meteorites perfume in Eau de Toilette. So in this fragrance, for me, the takeaway note is violet. I love violet as a perfume note because it's floral, but it's a little bit sweet. Sometimes florals can be a bit heavy, a bit intense. Violet is fresh and bubbly, just like this fragrance here. There's also a little bit of green apple, but also a little bit of bergamot. It's definitely a very feminine perfume. It's very girly. It's light, it's a little bit sweet, but not too sweet because, as I mentioned, you have the green apple, but it's not like a sickly candy scent. It's more just like that fresh, crisp note. And there's a little bit of woody notes, maybe a little bit of musk. I think it's a really gorgeous fragrance. This came out, I think, 2 years ago, so this is not new, but I really love it. I think it's perfect for summer. It's really fresh. And since it's an eau de toilette, you can go a little bit more liberally with it without the perfume being too heavy. As far as the longevity goes on this fragrance, it's not a very long-lasting fragrance. It is an eau de toilette, which usually tends to be a little bit lighter and kind of disappears a little bit quicker. And I would definitely also consider this to be more of a daytime wear. This could be like office appropriate if you know you're going into the office now. But yeah, it's definitely something you could reapply throughout the day if you want to keep that scent. So if you don't mind reapplying, if you don't mind something light and powdery and fresh, I think this is for you. I bought it because I was just concerned that one day it would be discontinued and I didn't want to go without buying this fragrance here. All right, let's do a review roundup of the new makeup items mentioned. So without making the pearls fall out, the meteorite pearls, I get it, I get the fuss. These are beautiful. I love the effect on the skin. It's a really natural, subtle inner glow effect. I don't think this is a mattifying long wear powder. I think this is just to give you that boost of glow. I think these would be amazing for a no makeup look. You know, they kind of just like blur imperfections finely and give you that boost of glow. I love these. I love the packaging. I am so happy that I got these. I totally get what the hype is about. Now, onto the Mad Eyes collection. So, I was just looking online and the shadow stick that I bought, online, the promo photos look more blue. Like the matte color looks like a dark navy, and it certainly is not. It's definitely a black color, but I think it's really pretty. I do like these creamy shadow sticks because they do not crease, they do not budge, they are long wearing. I think that this is perfect for a smoky eye look. Like this wasn't complicated to do. This was pretty simple. You have a dark and a light color, that's it. As a shadow stick, I really like this. And even though this wasn't the color I was expecting from the photos online, I am pleasantly surprised. There is that little thing with the shadow stick that if you blend it right away, it kind of just like erases really quickly. So you just have to be careful with how you blend it. I think if you go in with a heavy hand, you somehow end up erasing the shadow stick, which is very confusing. But if you are intimidated by a really dark smoky look, with this here, you could really easily blend it out very seamlessly. So for me, this is a hit. Now, moving on to the mascara. This I kind of have issue with because I don't know if it's the wand or the formula, but I find that it's a very messy mascara. I find that no matter when I use it, I always get mascara on my eyeshadow. I don't know if it's the wand that's too big or if it's the formula that's very runny. And I find that it also makes my lashes clump. Like I feel like I really have to work through to separate my lashes, and that could be why I end up getting eyeshadow on my face because I'm working the wand over and over again. This mascara focuses on volume more than anything else. But when I'm thinking of new mascaras that I've tried recently, like the Gucci L'Obscur mascara, I much prefer the Gucci mascara over this one here, which is surprising because normally I go towards mascaras that give me volume, but there's something about either the formula or the wand that just, I don't know, there's something that isn't quite right with this one here. So I don't know, for me, this would be a pass as a suggestion to you, like unless you really want to try this out. If you are like a diehard Guerlain fanatic, then you can go ahead and try it. But I don't know, this for me is not like a wow, you know? I was just reading on the website right now for the Guerlain shadow sticks. These are supposed to last for up to 24 hours. Spoiler alert, I never tried it out for 24 hours because that's insane. But it's also supposed to be resistant to humidity and also for tears. So it doesn't specifically say that it's waterproof, but if it's resistant to tears, that would be waterproof. I don't know. I did test this out in the humid Montreal weather recently and it did hold up quite nicely. Okay, I think this about does it for today's video. The other items that I mentioned from Guerlain, like the Terracotta palette, shadow stick highlighter, and also the primer, I've done reviews on those before, so I'm not going to go ahead and re-review them for today's video. If you guys want to watch those reviews, I will put a link to those in the description box down below. Please let me know what you guys think of today's video. Have you tried any of these new makeup items? Have you tried the new Brazilian Fizz collection or the Mad Eyes collection? Let me know down below. If you guys are new to my channel, I talk about nothing but luxury beauty. I do lots of reviews and tutorials, and I also have a new series on my channel called Beauty History, where I dive into the history and legacy of different fashion houses. So if any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe. All right, guys, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.